Welcome to day 13 of our 21-day pelvic care challenge. We are continuing to massage with our ball today. We're going to be focusing on like our glute max and glute medius. So here's the back of your pelvis. So this is if I was facing away from you right now. Your glute max is a nice big muscle, the booty muscle we all know about, and glute medius is underneath it on the top part. So we really want to focus on massaging just underneath the top edge of this iliac crest, which is your hip bone, and then just lateral, just to the outside on either side of our sacrum, which is the base of our spine. So let's just find that on ourselves really quick. First, coming through the sides to find the tops of your iliac crest, and just walk yourself to the back. And at the back, sometimes on your back, you'll feel these two little dimples. If you're really skinny, they might actually pop out. And that is, you'll feel them kind of pop out when you press on them, but when you look at your back, you'll see like the dimples. So that is where your spine and your pelvis meet. So we want to go just below that and just outside of that. And when you go, feel that point and you go just below it and just out a little bit, you'll feel that's nice, squishy, meaty, good stuff. That's where our starting point is going to be. And then from here, we can play with either going out further or we can play with going down further. Places you want to make sure not to be putting your tennis ball would be directly on your spine, especially and specifically the tailbone, the tiny part at the bottom. Your pressure, especially of your body weight pressing on the ball, can potentially dislocate, can break, can irritate, can just mess with its homeostasis. So just don't do it. So we're going to start with that point we were talking about again before. Finding where the crest, the hip bones, kind of come to our spine, going down a little bit, going out a little bit, and you'll feel it's nice, soft, and meaty. You want to make sure it's on a soft spot because that's when you know you're on muscle, soft tissue, rather than bone. So we're going to come to lay on our backs, knees up, feet flat. We're going to lift our hips up so we can place this ball right where we want it. And you'll feel it. When you're on, you're like, oh, that's muscle tenderness. When you put it on the bone, you're like, that doesn't feel like, that just hurts. That just doesn't feel great. So it may be a little sensitive anyway because you might be very tight. If that is the case, make sure you put a yoga mat if you're on a hard surface. If that's still too much, maybe lay a blanket down and slowly keep adding soft layers because that'll take some of the pressure off. And then as you get used to it, start removing those soft layers, all right? So first I'm going to start with crossing my ankle over the opposite knee and just rocking left and right. You can also try to rock your hips left and right as you're rolling the ball over that space. And if you find an extra tender spot, drop the weight really down on there and rock back and forth with your legs. Try to breathe through this because it can be tender. You can also move the ball itself, move it down if you want, or move it out, whatever feels good. And again, you can rock your pelvis even forward and back here. And if you find a nice, really tender spot, maybe try to stay and breathe there. All right, and I'm going to switch sides. So take it underneath my left hip. Find that spot where it feels like it's not on bone. It's not a really hard pressure. And then I'm going to let my hips relax there. Oof, this hip is definitely tighter. If it's tighter on one side or the other, like I had said in other previous videos, spend a little bit more love there. Spend a little bit more time. It needs it. You're obviously a little bit tighter and you want to create as much balance as you can. Oof. I have no idea what I've done to this hip. Oh, I know what I've done. Never mind. Very nice. All right, and I'm going to, again, move it down a little bit, but you can play with moving it down, moving it out to the side. Make sure you stay on that nice soft tissue. Don't go directly over the bone. It's a much, much tighter hip for me. All right, and you can spend as much time doing this as you like. make sure you realize this is deeper work, right? Like you feel it when you're doing it. It's a little bit deeper. So make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Don't be surprised if it's a little sore and tender either later in the day or tomorrow, because think about when you get like a deep tissue massage. Sometimes you feel a little bit sore and tender. The next day, totally normal. If you're feeling sore and tender for more than 2 days after doing it, then you probably went too deep. So really listen to your body. Go where it still feels good. You want it like a hurt so good feeling. You don't want it just, this just hurts. Like that's not a place you want to be. You want to make sure you're still feeling good about it. As long as you're still feeling good about it, you're probably in a good space. So listen to your body, don't overdo it, drink plenty of water, and that'll help kind of keep yourself hydrated, your tissue hydrated, so it can be like a bit more receptive and bounce back with any trauma. So I will see you guys tomorrow. We will also be using the ball, and I hope you guys have a great day.